time has this question been asked, and many a time has this question been answered. It comes down to astronomy and math. People make it so much more than it is. They make this about faith and doctrine and tradition, when all the difference has to do with getting the math all right and accurate. Today we have our father, Abuna Yohanna Nasif from St. Mary Coptic Orthodox Church in Chicago, and we will continue our discussion about unifying the dates of feasts, Nativity Feast and Resurrection Feast. Thank you, Abuna, for being with us today. We would like to continue our discussion from last time about the resurrection. Do you think, Abuna, that the Copts in the Western world do not care so much about changing the resurrection date comparing to the Nativity?
I think they will be happy if we will celebrate together both of them.
Yes.
But you know, the resurrection feast is always on Sunday, and they can take the Good Friday as an off day of work, so they can celebrate it in a nice way and spending it in the praises and the prayers of the church. And I know many people in the West, as in the East, they took the whole week off.
Yes.
And they stayed in the church, enjoying the readings, the hymns, the Holy Week in its depth. But in the Nativity Feast celebration, most of the people outside Egypt, they have work.
That's true.
And they are upset of not celebrating the day as an off day to pray and to visit each other and to enjoy the time in the church.
Yes.
In the church. You know, the Nativity feast liturgy, it takes more than maybe 5 hours, and we enjoy it. So it is, if the day before the Paramon is a working day, and also the day of the feast is working day, why we don't benefit from the Christmas day in the West? It is off.
Yes.
Off day, so we can benefit from this to enjoy the time in the church. We are not talking about eating or types of foods or to celebrate with
our families.
you know it is a season of buying goods and buying clothes, and no, we need time to celebrate spiritually, to enjoy everything in the church, and to give this taste to our children while they have some days off from the school.
Yes.
So they can celebrate it, and we can use those days in spiritual days, and so it is beneficial to celebrate at the same day of the off day of the country, which is now 25th of December.
If it is that way, why don't we just start with Christmas? So,
yeah, I think this is my proposal.
Yes.
Is to start with adjusting the Coptic calendar. This will result in celebrating the Christmas together. And this may be just one small step to get together, to discuss differences, and to help the unity of faith after that. I know it needs a lot of discussion, but it needs also a lot of understanding and a lot of love, and considering each other and considering the circumstances of each other.
Yes, exactly. The consequences for our children.
We have to work on it and to pray for it. not to ignore it.
So do you think, Abuna, is it true that the church is surrendering or surrenders to such small group that are opposing the idea? At this point of time, people who don't believe in science, who would not like to break the rule or breach our traditions.
You know, some people, they love the church, and they have the zeal. But as St. Paul said, this zeal is not according to knowledge. So the problem here is they reject the knowledge. They reject the light. And this is not good. But we have to read and to think and to take the risk to face the challenge and to change it. Because this is a responsibility of the church to help their people and help her children to understand and to enjoy the faith more. So to avoid challenges, to avoid everything, because we don't want to make an earthquake in the church. They know everything, it is like that, so we can't change. No, we can, by teaching and by time, by prayers, by discussing everything in a nice way, and to we can do changes for the good, not just the goal is not the change. The goal is better spiritual life for our children. Our church is it was the leader of the whole world at some time in the history. So why our church can't take the lead again to come near and to convince the world that we have this faith, we have all these treasures, and if we have something which is not a part of the faith, which is the Coptic calendar, we adjusted it to be more close to you.
Yes.
And to show you and to share with you our faith and to invite you to be with us in the same faith. Come and see how much our church is rich.
Yes.
So I think it needs wisdom, and it needs also to be brave and courageous to attack the problem, to find solution, and to discuss it without this will not make an earthquake or so. If this will make an earthquake, is it mean that our church is weak? No. Our church is not weak. When we discuss this, it will make earthquake. No, no. Even if there is an earthquake, but we have a tall building and big building, but with a good foundation, the earthquake will not affect
Shake it.
Yeah, because we have this roots, we have this foundation. So why we are afraid to discuss it?
So what do you think, Abuna, should we tell our children when they ask us about the difference in dates at this point of time? I know it's a process for the church to understand, but it's difficult for our children to understand.
Sad thing for me to explain to the children every year.
Yes.
Why we are not celebrating together? And the answer is,
yes,
it is due to some differences in the calendars, not in the faith. Okay, why? So I have to explain to them why those differences came, how they came from, and so instead of explaining from where the problem came, we have to fix the problem.
Exactly.
So we will improve the picture of the church in the sight of all the believers, especially the new generation. They will be proud of their church.
Yes.
They will be proud of their church because the
They
church knows what's precious and what's not precious, what's holy and what's not holy. The time and the languages, those from earth and will perish with the earth. They are not holy, but the holy is the faith. How to practice the faith, the holy conduct according to the commandment of the Lord. So this is the holy, but how to organize things, organize the time, or adjust a calendar. This is from earth, and it will perish with the earth. In eternity, there is no time.
Yes.
And it will be an eternal feast with the Lord.
So, Your Reverence Abuna, how do you think we should answer our children in a very simple way, in a very simple language, to the young children when they ask us what's the difference between the calendars and why we're celebrating in a different date? It's very difficult for them. It's painful for us, and sometimes it's not even convincing. I feel the children just walk away, not believing what we say. So,
yeah, this is the main problem. This is the main problem, and it is a sad thing because, as I said, from a pastoral perspective, we need to reconsider this issue. Every year, they come to me saying, why you are not celebrating together? And I'm repeating the answer and explaining to them, this has nothing to do with the faith, just it is a time issue according to the calendars. We are celebrating according to an old calendar, and they are celebrating according to a new calendar. And you know, even here in the States, they know that some churches, some Christians are celebrating according to the new calendar, which is the majority, and some churches like the Serbian, the Copts, and the Coptic Church and the Russian, they are celebrating according to the old calendar. That's sad. But to explain to them every year the same, the question will remain, why we are not celebrating together? So I hope and I pray that this need will be one of the topics that the Holy Synod will discuss seriously. And when it comes to the table of discussion scientifically, and listen to the scientists, and listen to what should we do. I have a proposal for that. Within few years, we can adjust everything.
yes.
And teach the people and convince the officials, and to communicate with the other churches, and we can do it. Is doable. It is not just
It's not impossible.
Yeah, it is doable. And so instead of explaining why we are not celebrating together, we will come to an extra mile to solve the problem from its roots by adjusting the Coptic calendar.
Thank you, Abuna. Thank you for all the information that you clarified for us.
Thank God.
Should we as Christians take the initiative to adjust a calendar established by our Father to help our children, to help the generations to come? Exactly like Abuna said, it's not for the goal of change, but for the purpose of unity, for the purpose of peace, and for the purpose of unifying all Christians around the world. Thank you for being with us, and see you next time.